Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I want to be discussing the television show Survivor, or Survivor 39. Now, excuse me. For those of you who usually watch my videos, you know that I usually do a review of Survivor when the finale is, and I do a review the next day. Well, the final episode of Survivor 39 is on December 18th, 2019. I'm doing this a week early because I want to do a review of an incident that happened on episode 12 of the series, and it's very important. I think I should, mention it. There's only one guy who only did a review on this already, and it's now my turn. And of course, what happened is, for the first time in Survivor history, a contestant has been physically removed from the game because of what he did on the show. And it's a contestant named Dan. And throughout the season, pretty much since the first episode, people have been complaining about Dan and Dan's behavior, particularly the women on the show. Particularly, there was an Asian woman named Kaylee who was like one of the most prettiest girls on the show, and not too bad looking in a bikini either. But she has made accusations about Dan inappropriately touching her, groping her, or snuggling up to her when she didn't appreciate it, or she thought it was improper behavior from Dan. Snuggling up to her, groping her, touching her all the time. He was doing this a lot. Stroking her hair back, stroking her face. And she felt that was inappropriate behavior, and she was very upset over it. And she reported to the producers of the show, and they did have a meeting, which wasn't filmed, by the way. It wasn't filmed for the show. They had a meeting with all the contestants who were still on the show at the time, and said, "Hey, behave yourselves. You know what personal space is, like borderline sexual harassment and stuff. So cut out the crap, and if it continues, you're going to have to be most likely removed from the game." Apparently, after the tribal council and last night's show where Elaine was voted out, the next day or next morning, Dan was removed from, and you didn't even see Dan. The way it was edited, you didn't even see Dan removed from the show. People were going, "Where's Dan? Where's Dan?" And Jeff Probst comes along and tells the remaining contestants that Dan had to be forced from the game, had to be removed from the game because of what he did. And of course, and then the screen goes black, and there was a title card that says Dan was removed because of an off-camera incident with a contestant. It wasn't even a contestant. It was someone who worked behind the scenes on the show. Apparently, he probably groped someone who or inappropriately touched someone who worked behind the scenes on Survivor, and so Dan had to be removed because they gave everybody a warning to behave themselves, and they were monitoring everybody's behavior. And apparently, Dan didn't stop himself, and he was voted out. Now, of course, the problem, and he wasn't voted out. Excuse me, he was removed. The problem was that the people on the show, or the contestants, should have voted him out like about 3 weeks ago. On day 22 of the show, Kaylee was the one who, complained that Dan was touching her. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, they had a meeting about it. The problem was that all the women on the show, except for maybe 2 women, decided to vote Kelly out, which is totally inappropriate. I mean, if it was in Kelly's spot right now, I would have sued all the women who, every person who on the show who voted her out at the time. True, it was a game when you had to vote somebody out, but they voted out. They should have taken care of Dan at that time and voted him out. They could have done it right then and there, but they decided to blame the victim, as usual, and vote the victim out, which is ridiculous. And during the show, they actually did show clips of Dan inappropriately touching, and not groping, touching in inappropriate areas, but just constantly touching somebody. And there was one woman that Dan wanted to touch a woman, put his hand on a woman's hip. Another contestant who was rolling out, I think it was after Kylie was rolling out. She was the next one rolling out. Complaining about Dan. So the two women said, and probably grant me, they were rolling out back-to-back tribal councils, which was also wrong in every level, because they're blaming the victim on this. And I felt that as a Survivor fan, I should, complain about it, or do a video on this. That Dan should have been removed at day 22 and not on day 35 or 36, whatever the day was when the show ended, or last night's episode ended. But that's what should have happened. He should have been thrown out a long time ago. They should have, of course, it's a little hypocritical for some people to complain about it because of the fact that you always see scenes on Survivor for 19 years now, almost 39 seasons of Survivor have been completed now, almost completed. One more episode to go for season 39. You always see scenes when the contestants are in the respective shelters and actually they're cold at night, or it's constantly raining and they're cold and stuff. They always snuggle up with each other, and to have somebody complain, "Oh, this one's touched me inappropriately," or "This one's snuggling up to me," and all that stuff. It's kind of hypocritical in one respect, but I think Kelly should have been supported more on this, especially considering the fact that it happened a second time, at least a second time, with Dan's case. And I feel that if I was Kelly, I would have sued CBS, Survivor, the production team of Survivor, because for not removing Dan in the first place. They shouldn't have been even a first incident. And now you had a second incident. Now they took the right step finally and removed him, but he should have been removed a long time ago. And now, because of this whole thing, I saw something online that they're going to have a pre-taped reunion thing probably because of what happened. I'm sure. I do hope that they address this in the reunion, the supposedly live reunion thing. I do hope that they discuss it. If they don't discuss it, it's going to be ticked off to no end. So I feel I should do a review on that. I want to do a quick video. I'll probably go into more detail when the season is over. I'm planning to do one next week when the season finale is over. But I figured to do a video on Dan being removed, and he should have been removed a long time ago. Because if you grab him and you say, "Hey, Dan," and he said right away, "Dan, back off," and he kept doing it, I think they should have complained ahead, right then and there, instead of waiting like 20 days. In my opinion, if it's that inappropriate, if Dan was being that inappropriate, A, they should have been more right away. And two, all the other women who said they were going to vote for Dan stared Kelly in the back and blamed her for it, which is totally inappropriate, totally wrong. So that's I'm doing a short video on this. So let me review my video of Survivor Dan being removed. Please click on the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You take all my reviews not only on my YouTube channel, but on rallyc.com, so WDY, and that's C.com. There's a homepage to Rally Reviewer, Christy Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.